back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be filming a story time, and for this story time, I'm going to be saying the story of kind of how I found Shawn Mendes and when I became like a huge fan of him. Because I did just film a Q&A, and I swear at least half of the questions were, how did you find Shawn Mendes? When did you become a fan of Shawn? I just decided to film a video about it and say like the whole entire story, because it kind of is a long story. Like there is the short answer, but I just want to say like the whole story because it is a fun story. But before I start this video, I just have to say, in no way am I bragging about how long I have known Shawn. This is simply just my story when I found Shawn. I'm not saying that if you didn't find Shawn Mendes this way, you're not a good fan, or whatever you guys want to twist my words to be. This is just simply my story and how I found him. That is it. So yeah, let's get on with the story. So I am now going to be a senior in high school, and this all started I think in 7th grade, so it was 2013. I did not have a phone at the time, and I didn't get a phone until the summer going into my 8th grade year. So I did not have a phone all of 7th grade. During that year, that's when MadCon and YouTubers were like a huge thing. But I remember always feeling so left out when all of my friends would be talking about the MadCon boys, and they'd be like saying how cute Cameron Dallas is, and I was like, I don't know who this is at all. Then around like winter of my 7th grade year, my sister got a new laptop, so then I got her old one. And that laptop was honestly so shitty. Like the screen was cracked, you couldn't open or close it, like it had to be at one certain angle or the whole thing would like break in half, I felt like. And it had to constantly be charged, and it could only be off the charger for like 5 minutes. So my laptop had to constantly be on my desk, plugged in and open. You could not move it. You know what, I was fine with it. I could freaking access the internet, and that's all I needed. So I remember one day I was sick because of course it was winter, I got a cold. I was sick and I was home from school. So I went on YouTube and I started watching some YouTubers. And the first YouTuber I ended up watching, she will always be a huge inspiration to me, always one of my favorite YouTubers, and that is Gen X Pen. And I started watching a bunch of Jen's videos. I absolutely loved her. And then because of her, I found the O2L boys. And if you did not know, I was a huge O2L stan back in the day. That is a different story time, but oh my gosh, it was a big deal for me. So then I loved the O2L boys and Jen and Andrea, That's So Jack, all of like that group of friends I was obsessed with in 7th and 8th grade, okay? So because of the O2L boys, I started finding a little bit about the MadCon boys because they collabed with Nash, Cameron, and Matt on their channel, I'm pretty sure. And because I had a laptop, I couldn't have Vine, but I could have YouTube, and I found out I could have Twitter because you can have Twitter on a desktop, but I couldn't have Instagram and I couldn't have Vine. So eventually I got a Twitter, and I think my Twitter and my YouTube were under a fake name. I didn't even use my real name. I don't know why. But basically I followed like all the YouTubers on Twitter, and then eventually I followed Nash, Cameron, and Matt because those were the only MadCon boys I knew at the time. And I watched their YouTube videos, and eventually I found like Taylor and Carter all through YouTube, and like I knew they did Vines, but the only Vines I could watch were Vine compilations on YouTube. So that basically all happened like winter and spring of my 7th grade year. So like I said before, I was a huge O2L stan, but I was kind of a fake fan for MadCon. I did not know how many people were even in there. I thought there were like 20 guys. Okay, sorry the lighting just got like really dark. I think I fixed it. But anyway, then it was finally summer, and I was just watching YouTubers, following them on Twitter, all that fun stuff. So then on June 25th, I think it was, I saw everyone on Twitter, like all the MadCon boys and the O2L boys, tweeting to go buy Shawn Mendes' song, Life of the Party. And I was like, who's Shawn Mendes? I just figured he was one of the many MadCon boys I thought there were. There was only like 12? 10 or 12? I still don't even know, to be honest. I think there's 12. No, there's 9. I don't know. I really freaking do not know. But at the time, I thought there were like 20. So I was like, oh, I'll look up who Shawn is. So I looked him up on YouTube, listened to all of his covers, and I loved them. And it wasn't like a magical moment where I knew like, oh, this is the guy I'm gonna stan for the rest of my life. nothing like that happened, but I was like, oh, like I really like this guy. I subscribed to him, I followed him on Twitter, I went to bed. The next day I woke up, listened to Life of the Party, I loved it. It was like in my playlist, and that's kind of all really that happened. Like, he was just like added to the list of people that I was a fan of that summer. His whole EP came out. Again, I listened to it the next morning because I liked my sleep. I listened to the whole EP, and like I was a fan of Shawn and I supported him, but I wasn't like a hardcore stan yet. Then in like November, I think something big came out. And it was like somewhere like fall or winter, something big came out. I loved that song. I made all my friends listen to it, and it was a good ass song. That January, like December into January, is when O2L ended. But when they broke up, I was just shattered because they were like my whole life at the time. So O2L ended, so then I started listening to more Shawn. Then I found out like, oh, like his album is coming out soon, like his whole entire album. So then he was dropping singles from it. I don't remember the exact order they came out, but I know Stitches was out, Kid in Love, I Don't Even Know Your Name, Never Be Alone, and A Little Too Much. I think that's all the singles. I really don't remember, don't come at me if that's not right. I had such a connection with A Little Too Much and Never Be Alone. Like, honestly, I was just going through like a really bad time that year, but like those songs honestly just made me so freaking happy. Oh my gosh, this is annoying me. I'm so sorry if the lighting was literally shit this entire video. Like, I remember one specific night, I don't know exactly what day it was, but I was just like getting a lot of mean text messages from people, and it was just like a lot. And that was the first night that I heard A Little Too Much, and I probably didn't even listen to it right when it came out, but I just started crying because that song literally was exactly what I was going through. And it was that moment where I was like, Shawn like understands me, and I just like connected with him so much, and I was like, I stan this kid. So every single day I would go to school, if I was having a bad day, I would just be like, you know what, it's only this many days until Shawn's album, and the next day it would be like, whoa, now it's only this many days until the album. And it was just like, it helped me so freaking much through the end of my 8th grade year. And even that summer going into freshman year, he was just such a big part of my life. And now here we are, and I'm about to see him in a freaking week, and I don't really know what else to say. I just blabbed for like 20 minutes. I don't know how the hell I'm going to edit this. But if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that is all I have for today, and I will see you guys next week with a brand new video. Bye guys!